spectacular concert tonight by Andre Rieu and his amazing Johann Strauss Orchestra. I'm now waiting for Andre to arrive, and here he is! What a rousing cheer from all the fans. Amazing to see him. They're going to be delighted by this. Andre, how are you?
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. And listen, congratulations.
Thank you.
From cinema audiences around the world on such a fantastic show tonight. How are you feeling?
What do you think? What do you think? I'm so happy. It was a fantastic night. And the audience was happy and I am happy.
And that's quite some welcome, isn't it, to come back to?
Yes, it's fantastic. Every year here on the square, it's a fairy tale.
Now listen, as you know, cinema audiences around the world have been sending in their questions for you. So if you're ready, I will begin.
Yes.
We start off in Brazil. Good evening, Brazil. And Jeanette Bertolotti is at the Cinemark Eldorado in Sao Paulo. And she would like to know, what is the piece of music that first melted your heart?
In my life or
I think in your life.
In my life? Oh my God. I think it was Aichi or no. I don't remember. I think it was a violin concerto by Beethoven, played by, I was 3 years old, and that was the moment I was inspired to play the violin. It was a beautiful blonde soloist who played the violin.
Who might have had something to do with it.
I think so.
Now listen, to Canada now. Good evening to everyone watching in Canada. Carol Drummond is at the Cineplex Odeon in Niagara Falls, and she is wondering if you've heard from Queen Elizabeth after composing the wonderful Windsor Waltz.
No, I didn't hear it yet, but perhaps she didn't hear it yet, I don't know. I composed it with a lot of fun, and we played it, I recorded it, and I hope everybody loves it, so I'm very curious how she thinks about it.
Well, I'm sure it'll get the Royal Seal of Approval very shortly. I'm sure it will do. To Hungary now, a big hello to everyone there. Maria Dorba is at the Urania Cinema in Pécs, and she says your orchestra plays beautiful music from all over the world. How much music is there in their repertoire?
Oh, it's infinite. It's infinite. You can never. People always ask, how is it possible that you find every year new pieces and new programs? You know, there's so much. And people ask me, how do you make your programs? With my heart. I choose my musician with my heart. I choose the music with my heart, and the soloist, and that is how it works. And that's the best you can do.
Well, they're all very special. Over to England now. Good evening, England. I know that you've got lots of fans there. Hope you're all enjoying the show this evening.
Welcome to Europe.
Richard Spooner is at the Regal Cinema in Melton Mowbray. He wants to know if you're a sports fan, and if you are a sports fan, what you enjoy watching.
Sports fan? Yes, of course. And I like most watching, I don't know, Atlantik. How do you say
Athletics?
That? Athletics, yeah. And of course Formula 1, now with Max.
Fast cars.
Yeah, with Max Verstappen.
Excellent. Let's go over to the Netherlands now, your home country, of course. There'll be big cheers in the cinemas there. Annika Tuin is at the Cine City in Vlissingen and says, would you like to play some rock and roll music with your orchestra?
I did tonight.
Well, there you are.
I did tonight. So it was really rock and roll with Lou Bega and it's Mambo No. 5 and the Tutti Frutti. So
Annika will be very pleased.
For you.
And over to Romania now. Hello, Constantine Vasily, who's at the Grand Cinema in Bucharest. Constantine would like to know, if you could say something to your 10-year-old self, what would you say? That's an interesting one.
To my 10-year-old self?
Yes, if you could go back to when you were 10, what would you say to yourself?
I would say to myself, Andre, when you have a dream, I had a dream, then follow it. Because that's the best you can do in your life. When you have a dream, try to fix your dream in your head and follow it, whatever happens. And then you will be happy.
Well, and it works. It's a good message, isn't it? Thank you. Over to Australia, heading down under. Good day to everyone there. Helena Zakara is at the Manuka Cinemas in Canberra and says, do you prepare a particular theme for the countries you visit?
Always, always. When I come to the... So we play our music, one program a whole year, but what country we go, always we prepare some surprises for the countries. And in Australia, they know what the surprises are.
Always a little special something.
Yeah.
And our next question is from Denmark. Now, I know you've been there many times. Hello, Denmark. Robert Nielsen is at the Megascope Horseus and says, is the violin you play an all-weather violin, or do you change it in case of rain?
No, we never play in the rain because it's not possible. Whatever violin you would have, it will be damaged. And my Stradivari doesn't like the rain at all, so no. We take care that it's dry when we play.
Good. I imagine so. And Germany now, Guten Abend, Germany. Hannah Jaeger is from Germany. She went to one of your concerts in Maastricht and she's watching again in Pathé Maastricht Cinema. You'll be pleased to hear that. She says you now have 5 grandchildren. Are they enjoy the music and do they want to play an instrument one day?
They enjoy very much my music, even as my kids do, Pierre and Mark. So I'm very happy grandfather that my grandchildren are dancing on my music and crying and really when they are at home, they ask for my CDs. So I'm very proud. And they played the violin when they were 3 years old. The kids of, both, Mark and Pierre. And now they don't play anymore, but perhaps they are going to. And now they tell everybody, we were too young when we started.
Oh, but they may still follow in your footsteps.
Yeah, they will.
You never know.
Now they are dancing and doing sports and trumpet and piano and everything.
They have lots of things going on.
As long as they have fun.
And our last question now, last but not least, to Poland and Kasia Chamatulska, who's at the Kine Atlantik in Warsaw, and says, your music is an inspiration to many. Do you mentor any young musicians?
Yes, I always love to inspire young musicians and let them play. Last year we had the Romanians here on stage, all these little kids with their pan flutes. And it's a great joy for me to give the dream I have in my head, to give that to young kids and inspire them, because that is, the kids are the future.
And it's amazing to do. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer the audience questions. Thank you for sending in such great questions. I will let you go now and have a well-earned drink with your orchestra.
Thank you very much, Alex. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye. Andre Rieu there, and thank you to cinema audiences around the globe. I hope you've enjoyed watching Andre Rieu's 2016 Maastricht concert as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm Charlotte Hawkins for Cinema Live, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. In the meantime, it's good night from beautiful Maastricht.
Hello, my friends. I hope you enjoyed watching my 2016 Maastricht concert. Join me and my Johann Strauss Orchestra in November for a special Christmas celebration in cinemas. See you there.
Concert event, including live tour and Q&A with Andre. Saturday, 19th of November only. Tickets on sale now.
Zobacz, 9 grudnia jest i w Belgii jest, we Francji. Zrób tego zdjęcia, bo są, kiedy on ma jakiekolwiek, wiesz, te...